I would like to invite Dan Ives, Managing Director at Wedbush Securities, to discuss the global sell-off that is becoming worse this morning, which is mostly driven by the tech industry. The Nasdaq is currently down roughly 85 to 6 points, with Apple and Nvidia being some of the major laggards. How do you feel about the sell-off, Dan? Right now, it's a falling knife. Would you like to take the knife? Yes, you see, we're guiding investors to this tense moment when it comes to examining the winners and tech names. This AI revolution is what we think it will be. Look, there's no denying that investors called today and over the weekend, attempting to ask, is this the end? Is the tech bear market coming to an end? It's not, in my opinion. As we have been following tech for the past 24 years, I think this is merely a huge panic of dread that will open doors for companies like Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and AI. Are you urging clients to buy on this when they call you this morning? We'll call it weakness, but it feels like more than that, boy. We've been, I'll say, practically table pounding it when it comes to putting the names and levels you want to own. I think they're going to see this as more of an opportunity than you know, catching a falling knife because of where the growth is. You look at the stats and earnings. I'm in Tokyo right now, and AI is in high demand throughout Asia. Despite what we're witnessing with this Nick sell-off here in the global rout, that is not going anywhere. Today, we are communicating that to investors worldwide. Dan, I want to briefly put Apple on the screen because, in addition to what transpired overnight and the obvious job number on Friday, one of the pressure points was the announcement made over the weekend on Saturday that Warren Buffett had now formally reduced his ownership of Apple. He remains the company's biggest shareholder. It appears that he has been attempting to raise money. He has clearly sold out of other equities as well, which I believe is contributing to the market's gloom this morning. However, you notice that this stock is now down 7%. What do you suppose caused that sale? Yes, as you can see, Buffett was selling a little in Q1 before being given the 50% sale. That was, well, a jaw-dropping relative that, I believe, attracted everyone's attention. Here, it will increase the pressure. It remains his most valuable possession. He is one of Cupertino's biggest fans. You nearly doubled your BFA, #1 holding. Andrew, we believe that if you look at Apple's most recent quarter, the guidance, and what I estimate to be 27 million iPhones, you can see that there is a window of opportunity for an upgrade, and that we are in the midst of an A-driven upgrade cycle. That's why you should buy Apple instead of selling it. Everyone listens to Buffett when he speaks, and for good reason. But even though there is some anxiety there, this is not the time to sell Apple. This is a chance, in my opinion, especially as Apple enters what I consider to be a truly historic cycle of upgrades. Earlier, we had a somewhat macro conversation with Tom Lee about the direction of things and potential developments over the next month or two. You're never going to, I don't know, never, it might be difficult to get real stability. Until October, even if you think, the market rips in the next couple of days after, falling. It's particularly difficult in August and historically September before you actually know whether you have your sea legs or not come October. Yes, look, I believe Tom has some very wise things to say. You know, in the upcoming months, especially as we approach the election, it's going to be a buckle-up moment. However, when you consider the foundations of technology, a gentle landing, and a Fed-cutting environment, you can see that this is the right time to own technology. I understand that the bears, who have been in hibernation mode for the past 18 months, have won during the past week or two. However, you own those names here if you look at quality tech, large cap tech, and AI, which I consider to be a once-in-a-40-year cycle. And I believe that's why we're out here supporting one another during this awkward moment rather than rushing to the elevators. Dan, this is the earnings that we see are generally excellent for the Mag 7 overall, though occasionally folks nitpick. As a result, what we're witnessing right now is most likely just a few contractions or some air escaping the enthusiasm. What would happen if there was a negative feedback loop and things started to improve, and you began to understand not only the earning side of things, but also the multiple side? We've already seen a 10% decline in the Nasdaq, isn't that right? Where might that bottom possibly be? Indeed, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Based on my observations of our checks and demand for the remainder of the year in 2025, as well as what we saw from earnings, I believe that the concerns there are unwarranted at the moment. Look, I believe the street will be fighting this ghost of a thing because of what might be around the bend. However, if you examine the foundations here, they are robust for technology. In terms of spending on AI, balance sheets are robust, and the cycle is once every 40 years. There will be losers in this, you see. Take a look at Intel. That, along with a few others, was clearly a disaster. However, you control the names of excellent tech, big cap tech, software, and semis here, and you don't sell them, even though there will undoubtedly be a lot of anxiety going on in the world today. I had the opportunity to interrupt with a recent hilarious story. When you order a McFlurry in China, they ask if you would like an Nvidia keychain with it. It costs $20, but the problem is that they only made it available to less than 10,000 customers, so their Nvidia keychain is already sold out and costs hundreds of dollars in the retail market. In response, Elon stated that he was unaware of this and added, "In that case, I will definitely have some." Just so you know, if you want to purchase this Nvidia keychain, click the first link in the description. Although I'm not sure if this is a joint venture, both McDonald's and Nvidia have posted about it in China. In any case, this product could sell for thousands of dollars in the coming years. We don't have many opportunities to purchase rare treasures like these. Anyway, we only have 100 pieces left, so hurry and click the link in the description. Why do you feel so hopeful about this? What, in your opinion, is setting us up for this generative AI to truly become that much more manageable and useful? Well, ChatGPT's major innovation was human feedback for reinforcement learning, which was, the process of employing humans to generate the best or correct answers in order to align the AI with our fundamental values or with the abilities we want it to possess. That was most likely the incredible discovery that allowed them to make ChatGPT available to everyone. Since then, other innovations have been made, such as guard railing, which, directs the AI's attention or reaction in a specific area so that, it doesn't ramble on and on about anything you ask it to. It would only concentrate on the tasks for which it has received training, is suited, and, is extremely knowledgeable. Retrieval augmented generation, the third innovation, is essentially vectorized data that has been, embedded so that we can comprehend its meaning and make it a more authoritative data collection. It actually pulls from various sources in addition to the training data set. Yes, exactly. It is more than just pre-trained data sources. For instance, it may include all of your previous articles and studies. As a result, it now functions as an AI that is knowledgeable about you and may even be a chatbot that mimics you. All of my writings and statements could be vectorized and then stored in a semantic database. Then, before an AI reacts, it would, examine your prompt, look up the relevant information in that vector database, and then enhance it, in this generative process. Where do you draw the line between assisting people and augmenting them? If something is taking the place of some human activities, where do you see the boundary? Okay,